researchers have been hard at work finding the nation's highest flying clinicians and bringing them here to give you a chance to work through your struggles. The procedure begins with a conversation because sometimes we just need to talk, right? Yeah. This week's client, Anna Mottram, is an actor. Anna isn't feeling so good. She feels like she's talking, but nobody's listening. She was paying for private insurance, but when she went to make a claim, they wouldn't cover her because of a childhood injury she forgot to tell them about. Our sympathies go out to her because that is such an easy mistake to make. We caught up with her to see what she had to live for.
Hi, I'm Anna, and I'm an actress. That's right, not an actor. As soon as I start earning the same as actors, then you can call me an actor. I'm recently divorced. To be honest, I'm not really sure why I got married in the first place. But these things happen. It's complicated. A lot of my bread and butter work is in hospitals, where I act somebody who has certain symptoms, and the doctors, the trainee doctors, have to figure out what it is and how to treat it. I'm a sort of glossary of symptoms. I can hint at somebody having a possible embolism or put on the appearance of early cataracts as easy as I put on new clothes. And then, 10 minutes later, back through the revolving door, and I'm a new person with a new set of symptoms. But these symptoms leave their mark. And sometimes I feel afraid when phantom lumps and bumps become real under my fingertips. I like the training sessions, and I think the students do too, though sometimes it does feel like we're all just sticking to the script. I get to see behind the scenes. I hear all the gossip. A lot of the nursing staff are leaving because they're just getting fed up with all this hostile environment. It's true. It really is all falling apart at the top. It's a sinking ship, and the captain is nowhere to be seen. He's scared to set foot in a hospital, and he's got every reason to be.
Let's give Anna a warm welcome. Hello, and welcome to the procedure. Please take a seat. It's great to have you here. So please do tell us a bit about yourself and how you became vulnerable.
Fionnuala, I'm actually quite lucky because there's nothing really wrong with me. I've been in and out of hospital a few times for various things. I suffer from mild depressive incidents, and that has had an impact on my relationships. I have chronic back and leg pain, which I manage with over-the-counter painkillers. But I do have private healthcare. Yes. At least I thought I had, but I had an accident with my wrist when I was 8 years old, and I forgot to put it on the disclosure form.
Isn't it just awful? I mean, it's such an easy mistake to make. I bet you never thought this would happen to someone like you, did you?
No.
Now, Anna, do tell us more about yourself. We'd love to know.
Well, I have 3 amazing kids.
Yeah.
We've been through a bit of a difficult patch recently. I know it's not my fault, but I can't help but feel responsible. I think what I really need is validation. You know, I just need to know that some part of me is actually in good shape.
Yes, yes.
I paid over £190 a session for useless therapy. Same for a liver consultation, inconclusive. Herbal remedies, acupuncture, groups, meetings, online forums. I mean, it's a full-time job, really. And all of this means I don't really have the time to focus on my first book, which is out next month.
Fantastic.
And in August, I'll be releasing the audio version recorded by myself.
And what is the book about?
Well, it's a sort of confessional memoir about my experience of being at home alone, waiting for constant hospital appointment rejection letters. And then on top of all that, my poor dad was suffering from severe memory loss. So I had to take him in for a dementia test. And you know what it's like, you know. They ask them all these questions about who's the Prime Minister, you know, where do you live? And my poor dad just sat there and couldn't answer any of it. And then this doctor said, well, we'll try some spelling. Could you spell world for us? And my dad said, do you mean the earth or to spin around? He said, oh, the earth. He said, yes, WORLD. He said, great. Could you spell it backward, please? And he said, yes, TI. I said, Dad, how come you don't even know my name, but you remember all your terrible jokes?
Anna, I just want to talk about your ex-partner, John. I'm sorry to bring it up. It's just, it was mentioned in the video there earlier, and I think it goes without saying, it's probably really tough to be going at this alone.
Yes,
and
it is.
When I first met my partner, Robert, when I was first introduced to him, people were like, oh, you're Robert, he's so boring.
Oh.
But what they really meant was he has integrity. He has character.
Yes,
he's the kind of person who stands up for what he believes in, you know?
Do you feel that people try to encourage you to live in the fast lane just so they can have the pleasure of seeing you crash?
Oh, I tell you what, after a trip to the local pub, my feet are killing me. I have to take out my contact lenses to give my eyes a rest, so no fast lanes for me, Anna. Right, we're just going to welcome our guests. So please, dear audience, give it up for clinician number 1.
Hi, Fionnuala.
Please do take a seat. Yes, just there. So tell me, what's your name and what agency are you from?
I'm Juanita and I'm from Harley Street Wellbeing.
Well, it's lovely to have you on the show. And do tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm thrilled to be here, I must admit. I am manager of an orthopaedic ward and I'm hoping that I can offer some sound advice for Anna and her poor wrist.
I've been told, Juanita, that you have an ambition. Would you like to share that with us?
Yes. Yeah. I am running for local MP.
Wow. Fantastic. And so tell us about your policies. Have you got any?
Well, actually, being a medical professional, I think I'm in a pretty good place to stir things up a little bit. Yeah. So firstly, actually, I would introduce new laws to stop insurance companies from mincing their words.
I like the sound of that, less mincing, yes.
And I'd have acupuncture actually instated professionally into clinical practice.
So it works.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, hospices are really beginning to see the benefits.
I have an aunt who's a nurse and a trained acupuncturist, and she's been trying for years to get them to let her put pins in people, and she comes up against brick wall after brick wall. And I think she'd love you for this. I really do. Any other policies that you're dying to tell us about?
Yes.
Yes.
Lastly,
Yes.
I would introduce the 4-day working week.
Wow. Woo! I need that.
We're all working. I mean, so much. I mean, we hardly have any time at home or with our families. I mean, it really would make an impact.
Yes.
I know it would. I mean, we could go out for drinks with our colleagues after work without feeling guilty. I mean, the pubs would stop closing down. The cinemas might even make a bit of boost in sales. It would really transform the nation.
Yes, be quite transformative. Well, sign me up for that, Juanita. Sign me up for that. Thank you. It is now time to welcome our second guest. Come on in. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Oh. Please do take a seat. So tell me, what's your name and what agency are you from?
My name's Marcus, and I'm from St. Ormond's
Right,
Trust.
I'm sorry, Marcus. I'm so sorry. Can we do that entrance again?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, I love
do
the
something
waving.
wrong?
No, not at all. No, absolutely. It's just a technical difficulty.
Okay.
Thanks. Should I go from the intro? It is now time to welcome our second guest. Come on in. Fantastic. Oh. Please do take a seat. So tell me, what's your name and what agency are you from?
My name's Marcus,
Nice.
and I'm from St. Ormond's Trust.
Ooh. And Marcus, how did you come to medicine?
I was on the legal team of a medical bid writing firm for 10 years before doing a medical conversion course. I wanted to do something that really helps people.
And how's that working out for you?
I'm getting to help people where it counts the most.
And Marcus, where do you think it counts the most?
I listen. I don't just hear the fact that people have or are suffering with pain. I know what they ate for breakfast, what book they're reading. I know how regular they are. I don't just hear their worries and concerns. I get right down to the root of the problem.
Yes.
My family were awful listeners. Before I was a doctor, nobody ever listened to me. Before I had qualifications, training, before I had my research published, before I had interviews in the press.
And why do you think that was?
Trust.
Right, trust.
Trust has a lot to do with position and social stature. I feel very lucky to have this new confidence, and I try to make everyone feel like they can trust me.
Okay. Well, I think I trust you, Marcus, I do. And tell me, Marcus, do you have any kids or homeowner, married?
I've just been through quite a difficult breakup.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
It was a huge setback.
Okay. But you're on the market.
Yeah.
Right? Woo! So if anyone is interested. It is now time, dear audience, to welcome our final contestant to walk through this curtain. Come on in. Please do take a seat.
Thank you.
So tell me, what's your name and what agency are you from?
So, my name is Kaife and I'm from the Nottingham University Hospital.
Fantastic. And tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm not really sure what there is to say. I'm a clinician. I've never done any sort of interviews. This one I've never been on TV, never had any press, whether it's been good or bad. I am really nervous.
Oh, there is nothing to be nervous about. You're in safe hands, isn't Kaife in safe hands? Yes.
So,
Yes.
I qualified nearly 5 years ago and I live here with my daughter in Nottingham.
Fantastic. Tell me, what are your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, and how do you hope that the amazing opportunity available in the procedure will help you get there? Are you, sorry, I don't know if I'm picking up sound on this. Is everything okay? Okay, great, sorry. I'm just going to go back, Kaife. I don't want to disturb our flow. Right. Sorry about that. I'm just going to go back a little bit.
Okay.
There's nothing to be nervous about. All is well. Okay. And tell me, what are your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, and how do you hope being on the procedure will help you get there? If you could wish for one thing, what would it be?
Again, I'm not really sure. I haven't learnt to sort of ask for things because I'm not entirely sure of what it is that I want to do. I'm a singer, everybody.
Fantastic.
I guess having more gigs would be great.
We might be able to arrange that.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so
I'll
much.
have a few words.
Great, amazing. You know, I think that people should be able to trust their doctor. I'd want people to feel that about me. It's difficult though because we don't always have the resources that we need.
No. I recently had a tough time in hospital myself, and you know, I think everyone will at some point, if not themselves.
I feel that
Yes.
it's the people that really need us that don't get the help.
Yeah.
We always try to make people feel really comfortable, make sure we use really positive sort of body language and make sure that we're approachable. but we can't dole out the first-class medicines because apparently the provider risks bankruptcy. So for now, we just, we really dole out smiles as medicine. We're actually contractually bound to do so.
Sounds a bit like my job.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And we found that we could always try CBT. 6 sessions, it really didn't work for me personally. It actually made me feel pretty worthless. Yeah.
That's
Oh, look,
interesting.
can I just suggest that we try out a technique? It's called distancing. It just helps you sort out and, separate some of the feelings that,
Yeah, I
might be
think we could
upsetting you.
certainly, if you
Oh,
could
it's-
talk
it's
us
very,
through it,
very simple.
and maybe
It's-
we
it's
can
like
come back
take-
to it a bit later on.
Well, what we could do is just take that statement, I feel totally worthless. And then in front of it, you just say, I had the thought, I feel totally worthless. You understand that?
Right,
Yes.
yeah.
And then you just say, I remember having the thought that I feel totally worthless. You see? And then you can actually consider how useful that thought is actually for you.
Not at
That's
all.
incredibly intriguing. Thank
yes.
you so much for that.
Thank you.
We're actually going to take a break. Hello and welcome back to the procedure. Before we hear from Anna, I've got a special treat for you, a bit of a healthcare history from Nottingham.
Ooh.
Over 100 years ago, Boots opened a new warehouse designed by Owen Williams. It was the first large industrial building to be built almost entirely using concrete and glass. It opened its doors in 1933, and it was so efficient that it was overproducing. Boots didn't want any of their staff losing their job, so they introduced the 5-day working week, which staff loved and took fewer sick days. They opened their doors by smashing a bottle of Boots' own white heather perfume, which I am going to reenact for you right now, believe it or not. Here we have Boots' heather white perfume. And let's wrap this up. And my favourite instrument, the hammer. My old boss! Wait. Hang on, not quite premature. Get it out! I'm thinking of my old boss, not my current one, Jos. Ooh. So, Anna, how do you feel after hearing from our fabulous clinicians, and what do you make of the perfume?
Well, they do seem very nice, and so does the perfume.
And are you ready to see them in action?
Yes?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. It's this part of the show where we see the clinicians dealing with complicated situations within the working environment, using such devices as empathy, altruism, and understanding.
I mean, when you have fought for your career,
I'd wake up in the linen closet amongst the sheets.
I'm a listener.
When the night shift had turned my life upside down.
your heart, it is hot, and your temper, it is cool. And you know that you are the next best thing on the block.
That time was cathartic.
When you're critical in all the right ways.
I'm sensitive. And when management tried to make my life a living hell, well...
Well, hang on, sorry to interrupt here. I just have an instinct. By any chance, have you two worked together before?
We've crossed paths.
Ah!
Marcus crossed my path.
Incredible.
I know that this sort of practice question is not only written for you, but actually about you. And that, for me, is a plague. It's the plague of our generation. Thank you. Thank you.
I have to say, say my heart is pounding. So, Anna, what did you make of that?
Impressive.
Yes. And do you think you might be ready to choose?
Yes, I do.
Right. So, the decision is over to you. Who's it going to be?
Well, it's a difficult decision, but I would like to choose clinician number 3, Juanita.
God!
Juanita.
Sorry?
Clinician number
3,
three.
Juanita.
No, clinician number. No, Juanita.
Juanita,
sorry,
me?
guys.
She
Yes.
said number 3, darling.
Bit of a-
Thank
Probably.
you.
Do you have a question you would like to ask your
That's
very own
really-
clinician?
Yes, Juanita. I would like to ask,
Fionnuala,
what
is there someone I
can you
can
do
speak
to help me with this chronic pain?
Well, it's a wonderful question. I'm going to give
I want to be
ways
best
to
to
I
shift
don't
the
see-
focus
Mark,
onto your work.
yes.
Take your mind off it. I suggest you try and get out more.
Sometimes things get a bit
networking.
heated, but I assure you
You
everything
are
is...
always trying to
Don't you
understand
dare
me.
interrupt me, you
Whatever you do.
holistic fraud.
You are just an ego on wheels. You're a liability as a human being, let alone a medical practitioner.
My hands are tied in this regard. Listen, I'm going to have a chat with you after the
You
show.
know what?
so
I'll
if you
speak
go
to someone.
backstage,
It's fine. I'll speak
I
to
keep
someone.
telling
Can I
you
speak
there's
to you,
nothing
Thomas?
wrong with my fucking wrist.
I'm really sorry.
Anna?
It's my back and my legs that's the problem. Why
Anna?
do nobody listen to me? Why don't you listen? You're worse than the sodding hospital, the lot of you.
No, Anna, what I'll just ask for, we just need to get a couple of pick-up shots. So if you just sit down there and all will be okay. Just sit down. Maybe you could smile. Can we cut their mics, please? You just smile, thanks. And we'll have a chat afterwards about your options. No, smile. Yes.
Yeah, anger management.
I love a change of heart. Thank you. Good night.